Dear students, I have started teaching you the first supplementary, the Tempest. Let us have a quick recall. So, who is Prospero? I am talking about the characters of the story. Prospero, Duke of Milan. Who is Miranda? Prospero's daughter. Antonio, Prospero's brother. And Sycorax, a witch. The king of Naples, Antonio's friend. Ferdinand, son of the king of Naples, Ariel, chief of all spirits, Caliban, Sycorax, son. I have already told you the story. So, the play begins at the island. So, who are on the island? Prospero and his daughter. Both of them are in the island. They have come to the island. So, they came to the island 12 years ago. So, they have been there for 12 years. And actually, Prospero was Duke of Milan. So, once he was Duke of Milan, but he was overthrown, and now his brother, cunning brother Antonio, is Duke of Milan. So, he was driven away with the help of the king of Naples. He is Antonio's friend. And who is Ferdinand? He is the son of the king of Naples. Actually, he calls his spirit, the chief of his spirits, Ariel. So, he orders Ariel to raise a storm in the sea, and there is a ship found in the sea. Actually, who are on the ship? So, all these, Antonio, the king of Naples, Ferdinand, and some other ministers are on the ship. So, he would like to teach a lesson. Already he is good at magic. So, with the help of the knowledge that he has acquired through magic books, he applies it. So, he orders Ariel to raise a storm in the sea, so that his plan is to make all of them reach the island, because he has a plan to teach them a lesson. This is what I have told you. So, Ariel, he has also raised a storm in the ship. So, due to the struggle, the ship gets wrecked. So, everybody thinks that they are the one who is alive on the island. So, they have reached the island very safely. Let us continue. So, Ariel has raised a storm in the ship. Ariel gave a lively description of the storm and of the terrors of the mariners, and how the king's son, who is the king's son? Ferdinand, was the first who leaped into the sea, and his father thought he saw his dear son swallowed up by the waves and lost. So, he leaps means jumps. He jumps off the ship and he jumps into the sea. So, his father, the king of Naples, thinks that he has lost his son at sea, because he thinks the huge waves have swallowed his son. But he is safe, said Ariel, because Ariel is responsible for making all of them reach the shore safely. But each of them thinks that he is the one who is safe on the island, who has reached the island safely. In a corner of the island, sadly lamenting the loss of the king, his father. So, what does Ferdinand think? Ferdinand thinks that he has lost his father it is because of the storm raised by Ariel. So, he thinks he has lost his father at sea. That is my delicate Ariel. Delicate means lovely Ariel, said Prospero. So, Prospero is very happy with the way the Ariel has raised the storm, and he has made each and every one reach the island safely. Bring him here. My daughter must see this young prince. Where is the king and my brother? So, he orders Ariel to bring Ferdinand, because he wants his daughter to see Ferdinand. Moreover, he wants to know where his brother and the king is. I left them, answered Ariel, searching for Ferdinand, whom they have little hopes. What do you mean by little hopes? Actually, the word little has a negative meaning. If it has a or very, they are considered to be positive. So, they have little hopes, which means they have no hope at all for finding, thinking they saw him perish. So, the king Antonio and the king of Naples, both of them think that Ferdinand is dead. So they are lamenting over the loss of Ferdinand. Of the ship's crew, not one is missing. So everyone is safe. Everyone is on the island. So everyone has reached the island safely. But they don't see each other, that's all. Though each one thinks himself the only one saved, and the ship, though invisible to them, is safe in the harbor. So the Ariel has made the ship invisible to them. It is very safe in the harbor, but it is invisible to these people. Ariel then went to fetch Ferdinand. So Ferdinand is to be brought to Prospero. "Oh, my young gentleman," said Ariel when he saw him, "I will soon move you. You must be brought, I find, for the lady Miranda to have a sight of your pretty person. Come, sir, follow me." So Ariel asked Ferdinand to follow him, because he is supposed to be taken to Prospero. That is the order given to Ariel by Prospero. He followed in amazement the sound of Ariel's voice till it led him to Prospero and Miranda. So he is totally astonished, because he listens to the sound of Ariel, because Ariel is a spirit. Okay. So he just follows, who was sitting under the shade of a large tree. So he is led to the place where Miranda and Prospero are found. Now Miranda had never seen a man before except her own father. So he is the second man Miranda sees, because she has always seen only one human being, that is her father. "Miranda," said Prospero, "tell me what you are looking at yonder," which means in distant but within sight. So let me know whom you are looking at. "Oh, father," said Miranda. It is really very surprising to Miranda, because he is the second human being she sees. In a strange surprise, "Surely that is a spirit, Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, as a beautiful creature, is it not a spirit?" So at first she thinks that it is a spirit like Ariel, but she very soon realizes that it cannot be a spirit. "No, girl," answered her father, "it eats and sleeps and has senses such as we have." So Prospero tells her that he is also like us. So he can do what we do. So he eats, he sleeps, and he has got senses also. "This young man you see was in the ship." So he says he was in the ship. "He is somewhat altered by grief, or you might call him a handsome person." So Prospero says Miranda can call him a young and handsome person. "He has lost his companions and is wandering about to find them." So he has lost his ship and he has reached the island. Now he is looking for his friends and father. Miranda, who thought all men had grave faces and grey beards like her father, was delighted with the appearance of this beautiful young prince. So she has seen only one human face before the arrival of Ferdinand. So how does Prospero look like? So he has a beard and he looks old. But for the very first time, she looks at a very charming young man, that is Ferdinand. Ferdinand, seeing such a lovely lady in this desert place, and from the strange sounds he had heard, expecting nothing but wonders, thought he was upon an enchanted island, and that Miranda was the goddess of the place, and as such he began to address her. So he is also totally surprised, because he has been listening to the voices of Ariel, which is a spirit. So he doesn't see anybody there, but he listens to the sound of Ariel. So moreover, it is a deserted place, it is an island. So he hasn't seen anybody there except Prospero and Miranda. So Miranda looks like an angel. So he thinks she must be the goddess of the place, and he starts talking to her. She timidly answered, with a shy answer, she was no goddess, but a simple maid, and was going to give him an account of herself when Prospero interrupted her. So when she tries to talk to Ferdinand, she is interrupted by her father Prospero. He was well pleased to find they admired each other, but to try Ferdinand's consistency, he resolved to throw some difficulties in that way. So, Prospero has realized that both of them have fallen in love with each other. But to test the steadiness of Ferdinand, Ferdinand is given some difficult tasks by Prospero because he wants to test his steadiness. If he has to get married to Miranda, he has to do all the difficult tasks given to him. Therefore, advancing forward, he addressed the prince with a stern air, telling him he came to the island as a spy to take it from him who was the lord of it. So, at first he blames Ferdinand. So, what does he say? He says Ferdinand is a spy and he has come there to take the island from Prospero. So, this is how he accuses. Follow me, said he. I will tie your neck and feet together. You shall drink sea water, shellfish, withered roots, and husks of acorns shall be your food. No, said Ferdinand, I will resist this, and drew his sword. But Prospero, waving his magic wand, fixed him to the spot where he stood, so that he had no power to move. So, what is the first task? So, he has decided to test his steadiness. So, he says he has to drink sea water and he is not supposed to eat shellfish, which is not at all edible. And moreover, he is supposed to eat withered roots, which means shrunken roots which are not fresh, and the dry exterior of the oak fruit. So, he is supposed to eat. No, said Ferdinand. So, he resists. No, I can't drink sea water. I can't eat such food because he is a prince. I will resist this. So, I will not do this. So, he opposes and drew his sword. So, he wants to attack Prospero with his sword. But Prospero, waving his magic wand, so it's a sticker which has got the magic power. Hey, stay there, like that. Fixed him to the spot where he stood, so that he had no power to move. So, now he is unable to move because Prospero has applied his power to stay him there. Miranda hung upon her father, saying, why are you so ungentle? Miranda is not happy with the way Ferdinand is treated. So, she urges her father to be gentle and not to be ungentle. Have pity, sir. Please be merciful. I will be his surety. So, I assure that he will be obeying your orders. This is the second man I ever saw, and to me he seems a true one. So, I think he is a very true man. So, he will be a good man, it seems, she says. Silence, said her father. One word more will make me chide you, which means I will warn you very severely if you utter one more word. So, he doesn't want Miranda to support Ferdinand. So, he does all these things to check the consistency. If Ferdinando has to get married to Miranda, he is supposed to obey the orders of Prospero. You think there are no more such fine men, having seen only him and Caliban? This he said to prove his daughter's consistency. And she replied, my affections are most humble. I have no wish to see a goodlier man. So, he thinks who? Prospero. So, Prospero wants to suppress her desires, but she has her own affections towards Ferdinand. So, she thinks that he is a better man. He is a better man, and she doesn't even want to see anybody better than him. So, it is very obvious that she loves him truly. Come on, young man, said Prospero to the prince. You have no power to disobey me. So, you have to obey me. Because I have the magic power, with the help of the magic power, I will make you do all the work. Prospero had commanded Ferdinand to pile up some heavy logs of wood. Log means pieces of wood. King's son, not being much used to laborious work, Miranda soon after found him almost dying with fatigue. So, he is given difficult tasks like carrying huge pieces of wood. Actually, Ferdinand is a prince. He is not used to such hard work. So, he is not used to such laborious work. So, he becomes tired very soon. So, he has become so tired. Alas, said she, do not work so hard. My father is at his studies. He is safe for these 3 hours. Pray, rest yourself. Now, she says that Prospero has gone to his study room and she wouldn't be back soon. So, she can have he can have some rest until he returns. Oh, my dear lady, said Ferdinand, I dare not. I must finish my task before I take my rest. But Ferdinand resists. So, he says he has to finish the task given to him. Then only he can take some rest. If you will sit down, said Miranda, I will carry your logs the while. But this Ferdinand would by no means agree to. So, who comes forward to help him? Miranda. Miranda comes forward to help Ferdinand. So, instead of you, let me carry those logs. But he doesn't agree to that thing. Prospero, who had enjoined Ferdinand this task merely as a trial of his love. So, it is a test given to Ferdinand to check the consistency of his love for Prospero's daughter Miranda. Was not at his books as his daughter supposed, but was standing by them, invisible to overhear what they said. Actually, Prospero hasn't gone there. He hasn't gone to the study room. He is there, but he is invisible. He is not visible to Miranda and Ferdinand. So, he wants to overhear. So, he wants to know what is happening. He wants to check the love, whether it is consistent or not. Ferdinand enquired her name, which she told, saying it was against her father's express command she did so. And then Ferdinand, in a fine long speech, told the innocent Miranda he was heir to the crown of Naples and that she should be his queen. Now, he too expresses his love. So, after speaking to each other for a while, so he says he is the prince of the Naples, and if he marries her, she will be the queen soon. Prospero then appeared before them. Fear nothing, my child, said he. I have overheard and approve of all you have said. And Ferdinand, if I have too severely used to, I will make you rich amends by giving you my daughter. All your vexations, which means angers, were but trials of your love, and you have nobly stood the test. Then, as my gift, take my daughter. Now he appears in front of Ferdinand and Miranda. He is much pleased with the way Ferdinand reacts, because he is so genuine. So, their love will also be true. So, he adds that those talks are just trials to test his love. So, he is much pleased with it. So, he says he can take his daughter, which means he is allowed to marry Miranda. When Prospero left them, he called his sprite Ariel, who quickly appeared before him, eager to relate what he had done with Prospero's brother and the king of Naples. Ariel said he had left them almost out of their senses with fear at the strange things he had caused them to see and hear. When fatigued with wandering about and famished for want of food, he had suddenly set before them a delicious banquet. And then, just as they were going to eat, he appeared visible before them in the shape of a harpy, a ferocious monster with wings, and the feast vanished away. So, now Antonio and his friend the king of Naples are tortured by Ariel. Tortured means not in the sense of rusty, but gentle, because they have to be taught a lesson. So, they are looking for food. So, at that time, so a feast appears in front of them. When they are about to eat it, Ariel makes the feast disappear. So, now they are looking for food. They are in damn need of food because they are very hungry. So, likewise, they are tortured by Ariel. Then, to their utter amazement, this seeming a harpy spoke to them, which means Ariel speaks to these two, reminding them of their cruelty in driving Prospero from his dukedom and leaving him and his infant means baby, here it refers to Miranda, daughter, to perish in the sea, saying that for this cause these terrors were suffered to afflict them. Now he says, so you have been tortured. So you have been tortured because you behaved like that. So you drove away Prospero from his dukedom. So you left them stranded on the surface of the, you left them stranded at the sea. So you wanted them to die. So, that is why you suffer a lot now.